Fortenbaugh, our gambling expert, back. Joe, Jared Goff facing the Bears. 249.5 passing yards is the total. Do we go more or less?
More. The number is cheap because of the performance we saw last week. Goff and the Lions look terrible, but that's more a byproduct of playing on the road at Green Bay. This is at home against the Chicago defense that's banged up in the secondary. Goff indoors versus Goff outdoors is the difference. Indoors last year, he averaged 280 passing yards per game. We're going more.
All right, Joe, we talked about Saquon Barkley briefly before. Has the showdown with the Chiefs this weekend more or less 88.5 rushing yards?
Less. As great as the Eagles looked in the Super Bowl last year, Barkley carried the ball 25 times for only 57 yards. Why? Kansas City defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo's game plan, sell out against Barkley. He is the engine that makes the offense go. I think he does the same thing here, especially knowing A.J. Brown is not 100%.
And then finally, Cowboys, Giants. George Pickens, not really that involved in week one. His total is 53.5 receiving yards. You go more or less?
Less. As bad as the Giants looked in week one, I still think they have a decent defense. In case in point, against Washington, the leading receiver was Deebo Samuel with about 77 yards. If you're getting a wide receiver involved in this game, it's going to be C.D. Lamb, who had that big drop late in the game. I think you want to get him going. The Giants should be able to run the ball here so you can keep Dallas's offense off the field.
All right, so let's recap again. We've got Goff and the over. We've got the under on Barkley. We have the under on George Pickens. We've made those a parlay. They're on ESPN Sportsbook right now at plus 541. Look for the more or less featured parlay on the homepage and in the parlay lounge. Meanwhile, we mentioned Pickens. I want to dive into that game a minute here. Giants, Cowboys. And Harry, I've been waiting all week to get you in here. I want to show a tape that Dan Orlovsky brought to the show the other day. And it was something that I hadn't really seen much coverage of. The Cowboy game was a whole week ago already. But he pointed out a few plays in which George Pickens does not appear to be giving maximum effort. You played the position. Yep. Let's roll the tape. I want you to tell us what you see. Harry.
So number one here, you're going to see George Pickens at the top of the screen. This safety is coming down to fit the run. You have an opportunity, if you're George Pickens, to earhole that guy, because every opportunity he gets to take your head off and deplete you, he's going to do it. Here's another version of it right here. Don't take plays off. Why are you letting this safety off the hook and allowing him to just take a play off? I don't like it from George Pickens. And then also, if they throw this bubble screen to a guy that's in the same receiver room as you and you're lollygagging and not block hold up, I'm going to be upset if I'm any other receiver in that room. And here's this one right here. Just let me go through the motions. I'm not getting the football. Let me just jog through things. It all comes down to this, Greeny. They're trying to change the culture in Dallas. You cannot be one-dimensional in this league. Brian Schottenheimer is trying to run the football. You want to know who's a part of the run game as well? The wide receivers, when quarters coverage is there and that safety is coming down to knock that running back out, the receiver must do his job. What if that running back breaks free and your guy is the man tackling the play every time? You don't want to be that guy in the film room. For a guy to be in a contract year and to take plays off, I don't like it. I played the game with Roddy White and Julio Jones. You know what those two guys took pride in doing? Blocking damn DBs when they had the opportunity. You want to know why our receiver group was one of the most feared ones in the National Football League? Because we'd knock your block off every chance we had. George Pickens, he has to have that mindset. So watching that is disappointing.
The other one, it's the blocking, and then it's the not giving effort. It's not selling out when the ball's not coming to you because you're just sort of motioning to the defense that you're not a part of it. So if you're on that team, look, we just went through this in Pittsburgh. We literally went through this. Here we are, week one. Like, what do the leaders of that team need to do?
Got to bring them to the front of the congregation. We got to have a closed meeting talk. Like, listen, you can do it or not do it, but it's going to be some consequences. And if we got to throw hands, we can throw hands, but this is not acceptable here. You might be able to get away with that somewhere else, but we're not going to tolerate it. And Shoddy's going to have to back them up, because this is the thing. Not only talking about the penalty that he got when he just grabbed Cooper and the Gene, down there when they were in scoring position.
Just block.
Just been lazy.
Damn defender.
Right. So you got to understand, it ain't always about you. Right? It ain't all this ain't the greatest show on turf where we're gonna throw the ball 50 times, right? But we need you to do your job.
It comes to two things. Number one, the word trust.
Yep.
Can I trust you, George Pickens, as a coach, as a teammate, to do your job every single play? What are you willing to sacrifice for us to be great?
Yep.
It's bigger than the individual.
And Greedy, when we would trade for him, I would say to him very simply, and I said it to Santonio Holmes, Braylon Edwards, amongst others, like, let me give you the answers to the test. We're going to try to sign you. There's a salary cap. Every play you put on tape is a job interview. Do 31 other teams want to sign you? So the pen is in your hands. What do you want people to think of you?
That said, and we can put the picks up on the screen here quickly, do we think the Cowboys, oh, well, there it is. Do we think the Cowboys bounce back big against the Giants team that really struggled week 1?
Giants need this one too. And the Giants do have a very formal front four, but it didn't feel that way against the Commanders. It did not feel like this is the greatest defense we've ever seen. They need to show up. And I thought the Cowboys offensive line did very well against the Eagles, even with Jalen Carter out of the game.
All right, so we see all the stars on the screen will be picked.
It's eerily similar in that Joe Shane was on Hard Knocks, the Giants GM, and we had it all on video. We had him saying the words that were going to move on from Saquon, so it was almost like the smoking gun of here's the mistake that was made. Jerry has so many quotes on camera and so many things in paper that he actually has said we're better off with Micah. We need to improve the rushing game, the run defense game. Kenny Clark improves us. It's all right there. We saw it all on video. Micah Parsons could be the Saquon Barkley of this season.
Which leads me to ask you, Mike Tannenbaum, like inside that building, right? If you're inside the Cowboys building and they've got their game with the Giants to deal with, and we're going to make picks on all these. We'll get to the Cowboys in a minute. But if you're not Jerry Jones, if you're someone else in that building and you're watching Micah right now becoming the story of the league, what thoughts are going through your mind?
Massive regret that, again, how we approach things strategically, Greeny, puts us at a massive competitive disadvantage. When you have a future Hall of Famer by any metric who's 26 years old and you hit on your own first-round pick, sign him right now. A year ago, they should have signed him. The fact that it got this far, we talked about it for months, Greeny. Nick Bosa was at $35 million. Now we're all the way up to $47 million. It is as deflating to the Dallas Cowboys as it is invigorating to the Green Bay Packers. They are human. They all saw that game last night. He's a great player that makes everybody else around him better.
I mean, but he didn't make the Dallas defense that great. They still got the ball ran down their throat. So it's like one of those things. They weren't winning with him. It's not like they had the number one defense.
Yes, they were. When Dak Prescott was healthy, they were going to the playoffs
They won
every year.
12 games 3 years in a row with or whatever it was with Mike at the beginning of his career.
And they got sent home because Green Bay did what to him? Ran the ball at Michael Parsons.
Okay.
So it can work out for both teams. We can't determine who wins this trade until what we see Dallas does.
Well, I push back, Bart, because in week 1 on Thursday Night Football, when Jalen Hurts was standing back there with all kinds of time to run,
I get it.
And then he did rush for touchdowns, it was because you didn't have that relentless pursuit from a guy like Michael Parsons. So Jerry is willing to down the hill that I'm not willing to down. And sitting here continuously saying that, hey, we're going to get multiple players. You have a generational type player. You don't trade a player like that. You just don't do it.
And if you do, Peter said earlier in the show, Greeny, 70 cents on the dollar. I would probably go 50 cents on the dollar. Why not trade to the
88?
Yeah, why don't you just trade him to the AFC?
That's true.
And then those 2 first-round picks are going to be really low picks.
Right. There's no need to relitigate it. I just think it's an interesting storyline to watch all season long. We talked about Mike. I want to go to the other side. So we're having breakfast this morning. A delightful egg white omelet, courtesy of our friend Benny, the omelet chef upstairs. And Harry's sitting there on his phone, and he just turns to me and he goes, Greeny, Matt LaFleur put on a master class last night. What were you watching?
Yeah, number one, your job as an offensive coordinator and a play caller is to put your players in positions to have success. This first play is going to be a 3rd and 3 situation. You're going to see them send this receiver in motion across the field to watch the Commanders, the DB. He's in man coverage and trail technique. The receiver is going to run a 6-yard out, and it's literally like taking